Welcome to SA News Weekly News Update. We'll cover the top stories from across the United States, important developments worldwide, and new insights from the world of health and science. The partial federal government shutdown has entered its 23rd day, becoming the second longest in U.S. history, as President Trump and congressional leaders remain deadlocked over spending and border security. The impacts are deepening across the country, with over 60,000 aviation safety workers now missing a full paycheck. This has raised concerns from unions about the long-term safety and staffing of air travel as financial stress on essential personnel mounts. Furthermore, a critical deadline looms on November 1st, as funding for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is set to lapse. Anti-hunger advocates warn that millions of low-income families, seniors, and children could see their food benefits disrupted or halted entirely if a resolution is not reached. While Senate leaders from both parties held talks with the White House, no clear path to reopening the government has emerged, leaving furloughed workers and benefit recipients in a state of growing uncertainty. The Trump administration announced on Thursday it is setting the refugee admissions cap for the new fiscal year at 7,500, the lowest level in the history of the modern refugee program. The new policy also reportedly includes a directive to give priority to Afrikaners, a term typically referring to white South Africans. This move has drawn swift condemnation from human rights organizations and faith groups, who call the cap an abdication of moral leadership and the prioritization discriminatory. This policy announcement comes amid a week of intensified federal immigration enforcement. The administration has dispatched over 100 federal agents to the San Francisco Bay Area to ramp up immigration raids, a move that follows similar operations in Chicago and New York. In New York, protesters marched in solidarity with street vendors who were detained by federal agents. Tensions also rose in California after officials began investigating the second shooting by ICE agents in the state in just 1 week, this one occurring in Ontario. In a powerful advisory opinion this week, the International Court of Justice, the UN's top court, ordered Israel to restore access for United Nations aid agencies to deliver food and other basic necessities into the Gaza Strip. The court's finding was stark, stating that the use of starvation as a weapon of war was occurring and that Israel had not provided evidence to back its claims against UN relief agencies. This ruling comes as a U.S.-brokered truce from October 10th appears to be unraveling, with officials in Gaza reporting that nearly 100 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks since the truce began. The humanitarian situation was further highlighted as the Israeli military intercepted the Global Sumud Flotilla, an international humanitarian aid convoy in international waters, detaining hundreds of activists. Simultaneously, Israel's Knesset advanced legislation that would effectively annex the occupied West Bank. This move prompted rare criticism from U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who departed for Israel in a bid to prevent the ceasefire from further collapsing. Tensions between Russia and the West escalated significantly this week on both the economic and military fronts. The Trump administration, in coordination with the European Union, announced a new round of heavy sanctions targeting Russia's largest oil and gas companies, aiming to choke off revenue for Moscow's war effort. This move comes as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told reporters that President Trump's earlier proposal to freeze the current front lines could be a good compromise. However, in a major military development, the Trump administration has reportedly lifted restrictions on Ukraine's use of foreign-supplied long-range weapons. This policy shift now allows Ukraine to strike targets deeper inside Russian territory, a move Russia has long warned would be a red line. The decision comes as Ukrainian officials warn that millions of their civilians face a brutal winter without heat, water, or electricity due to renewed systematic Russian attacks on the nation's energy infrastructure. Scientists around the world are racing to study a rare visitor from deep space. This week, on October 29th, Comet 3I Atlas made its closest approach to Earth, coming within 167 million miles. This object is only the third confirmed interstellar visitor ever detected, meaning it originated from an entirely different star system and is just passing through our own. Astronomers are calling it a time capsule from another part of the galaxy, offering an unprecedented chance to study the building blocks of a solar system that is not our own. What makes 3I Atlas especially exciting is its unusual activity. As it neared the Sun, telescopes observed it ejecting massive jets of gas and dust, Spectroscopic analysis has stunned researchers, revealing a composition different from our native comets, including the presence of atomic nickel vapor, giving it a faint greenish-blue glow. Though it is not visible to the naked eye, data being collected by NASA and other observatories will be studied for years, providing new insights into how planets and comets form across the cosmos. Under the divine guidance of Sant Rampalji Maharaj, the Satlock movement is hosting the 512th Divine Meritorious Meal Days, Bhandara, a profound 3-day commemoration of a significant divine act by Supreme God Kabir Sahib Ji. The event will span from November 4 to 6, 2025, at Satlock ashrams throughout India and Nepal. This special occasion honors the time 600 years ago, when Supreme God Kabir Sahib Ji descended to earth, bringing Satbhakti, true devotion, and joy to countless souls. The Supreme Lord performed many miracles to prove his divine identity, most notably an continuous 3-day Bhandara meal service in Kashi city, where 1.8 million sages and great sages were served. This incredible celebration is extending its reach to over 500 name initiation centers globally. Devotees in the U.S. can join the Divine Meritorious Meal Days in Texas, Indiana, and California. Don't miss this amazing opportunity to celebrate and listen to the spiritual wisdom of Sant Rampalji Maharaj. Contact the numbers on the screen to attend. And that wraps up this week's bulletin. Thank you for joining SA News, and we'll see you next week. Truth that you want to know.